So Rick, you've coached some of the greatest players in the world. Tell me about your work with Maria Sharapova.
Yeah, Maria was very interesting because she was at IMG Academy when Yuri, the father, contacted me. This was after Venus and Serena left, and he knew Maria had a lot of potential, so he brought her to me. So they would come for about a week, a month, for a year. They would come, even though they were at another academy. I was there working with her, trying to build her game. I knew, once again, she could be #1 in the world, simply because I never saw a young child, anybody, she's a leader in the clubhouse, #1, who could focus and stay locked in like this little girl. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be a great tennis player, but whatever you do, you're like a pit bull, you're not going to let go. And I could just see that she was always like in a bubble. So that was the wild card, to be in the here and now. So I saw the mental part in her before anything. And that's why I came out and said, Yuri, we'll do a deal. You know, I'll coach her. Let's work it out. But here's what happened. Her backhand, poetry in motion again. A knife through butter. She had just a fluid backhand. She had great technique already. The forehand was brutal. And when I say brutal, I mean, it was bad. Okay, the elbow came in, it came across. She hit side spin like Capriati, but she was very inconsistent. Okay, the forehand would be her Achilles heel or her downfall to make her become great. 50 in the world, maybe on the horizon, because she mentally was good. She wasn't going to be the best athlete. She was going to be tall. But I told Yuri, we got to do something about the forehand. So then I had her hit left-handed forehands. Now this is crazy. You want to talk crazy? We all agreed. And I got the tape of him talking in Russian and feeding her balls. She was going to play left-handed. We switched her to play left-handed. And she was already halfway decent right-handed. Because when she did it lefty, poetry in motion, knife through butter, silk as can be. It was like she was a lefty. And I said, listen, you messed up. You should have done this when she was born, figure this stuff out. But then, on the flip side, now her backhand looked all disjointed. And so we said, okay, we're going to go lefty. So we stuck with switching the left hand, and it's in my book, Macy Magic, about this. We switched her to left hand. And the thing about it, she was all in, okay? And then as time went on, okay, I think she already had a relationship with IMG, a management company. They didn't want her to switch, and they all came down to the academy and talked Yuri out of it. So she went back to right-handed, and we did the best we could. And if you see what she does, she did this a lot. That means she's getting more vertical component. That means you're going to have more topspin on the ball. Because when she hit it flat, she would make too many errors. We just couldn't change the technique. But you even see her on the Pro Tour. She would hit the ball like that a lot, but she'd make it. She'd still have enough penetration, but she'd have the spin on the ball because the racket was going up the back of the ball. So that was a big, big change in her game. Her serve, even though it never maxed out, because I only worked with her for a year. It was only a week, a month for a year. So I didn't work with her like most of the other players. Her serve became pretty good because she was tall and fluid. Once again, had to do a lot of wrist exercise, had to get really the racket on the edge longer. Very important. But one of the things we did a lot of, the minute that ball went up in the air, she was like a missile, running from that baseline, taking the ball out of the air with such intensity, and you could hear her scream all the way from Boca Raton to Orlando. I mean, this girl had the intensity. She probably hit more swing volleys, well, maybe the Williams sisters did too, than anybody I coach. And she never missed a swing volley in pro tennis. And that's because she hit hundreds of thousands as a youngster. She didn't really like to chip the ball. She didn't really like to drop shot. But once again, I told Yuri, you got one way to make it big. Mentally, she has it. Never back up. Just like I trained Capriati, okay, and the Williams sister, on the rise, take the ball early, cut the court. Because when Maria has to play defense, you're in trouble, okay? But she can hide it. And a lot of people do that become great. They hide their liabilities and they maximize their assets. So if you notice then as time went on, if she ever had to play Serena in the pro, she got toasted up like a marshmallow because Serena would just play through her because of the power. But everybody else, Maria was dealing the cards. So she bought into taking it early, never backing up, positive errors, taking the ball right off the bounce, but all that is baked in at a young age. And this is what people have to understand. With all the kids, I try to work on the chip and the drop, the topspin lob, angles, but not always are they going to want to do it. But as a coach or a mentor, it's your job to teach them everything. But the most important thing, if you see a possible speed bump down the road, you got to go in. And with Maria Sharapova, both her dad and I knew the forehand was a big, big issue, to the point that we were going to teach her to play left-handed. How crazy would that have been? But at the end of the day, one of the best competitors I ever taught.